Broadcasting from Jacob Riis Park at Riis Beach, New York City. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. As usual, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me, even when you're not here in the morning, listening, afternoon, evening, nighttime. I very much always appreciate all the listens and the support. We live in America. At least I know I live in America. Brooklyn, New York, capital of the world. And I looked around and saw how much things that we actually have, all the liberties that we have, hence why people come to this country, especially this city, for so much opportunities. And we take a lot of things for granted here. We definitely do. When I say we, overgeneralization, there's a lot of people who do appreciate what they have. There are people who have come from other countries that come here to appreciate what we have. There are people who were born here who do appreciate what we have. But there's so much people that take for granted what we have. To keep it very simple, there are people who are in this world who are dying of thirst. There are people in this world who are infected by waterborne diseases because they don't have access to clean water, mainly contaminated water. There are people who have to walk miles to get to a well to get water, to get clean water. It's an ongoing struggle that many of us here will have no idea of what goes on. Yeah, we have our struggles and our stripes. We have so much things going on right now, but that's basically based off of human choices. When I'm talking about just the regular things that we use, running water, if you haven't guessed it, that's what I'm talking about. That's one of the liberties that we take for granted here in the good old US of A. And I'm going to speak primarily to New York, even though New York City is not the only place that does this. I drive around a lot. I've been doing it for years, and I've looked in, especially in the summertime, it gets hot. Someone pops open a fire hydrant or the water plug. And, for kids to cool off, people to cool off the street because they may not have access to go to the park or go to the pool, wherever it may be that involves getting cool water, like where I am right now by the beach. And this has always been a thing to do. But I also look in other inner city parks and they have the fountains and sprinklers going. And I also look among other structures of arts and class where some structures and statues have fountains that go on all the time. It does look good. But at the same time, we have to remember that this is all clean drinking water where there's gallons and gallons coming out per second that are just watering the ground and going back in and recycling. And it made me think that, listen, we have so much fantastic opportunities here and liberties here. And the problem with that is that when you grow up with that, when you've grown up in a society, in a culture where you're always handed everything to you, you're not going to have an appreciation for all the little things. You're always going to be looking for more. You're always going to be looking for what else you can get out of whatever situation. It may be like a logistical nightmare if we could just easily bottle up all that water, and we can. We have the means to do it, especially in this country, especially in this city here. We have the means to bottle up even just like a certain amount of gallons per month, per year, because we're just spilling it literally in the streets. Sprinklers are on, fountains are on, fire hydrants are running all day, and this is drinkable water, y'all. Now, a lot of people may not want to turn their nose up because we're used to higher quality water. We have filters. I get it, because, fluoride, chlorine, that's a whole nother story. But basically, it is drinkable water that we can use. We can bathe in this water. We could water our plants with this water here that's out in the fire hydrants, that's out in these fountains, it's out in these parks and these art pieces that we see all over the city here and many other parts of this country. The thing about that is that we can easily put the logistics in, and let's just say we're going to ship off like 500 gallons of water or whatever, and that goes very quickly. But again, there's people who are dying literally to get a drink of water when we're just spilling it, splashing it all over the place without a care in the world. We have to remember, before we go and look for more issues, before we go and actually go and think of more things that what we can do, we have to sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, take the time to look at what you got. Look at what you have and be appreciative of it. I know, especially when you're in a culture where other people may have this, they may have more than you, they may have something that you're trying to get, or you're just in a position where you feel like, you could do better if only you had. That's true. But you have to think of what you got, man. You have to think of everything we have so we don't waste any of this stuff right here. Because there's someone who is dying to get 1/8 of what you have. There's someone who's dying right now just to get a flip phone, not even like a cell phone, a smartphone. That's a regular flip phone. There are people who are dying just to have internet, just for some simple things. I was looking at a speaking from a Christian apologist, very famous guy. Look him up, Ravi Zacharias. Some people may know him. I've listened to a few of his audiobooks, very, very eloquent, very gifted in speaking. And the thing is, this man can make you feel like gold, even if you have opposing views. And it's another person that 2020 has taken away from us. And he was talking about the same thing that I was always thinking, where he was at some seminar and had people from Cambodia, and he said that they were so grateful, not of the money or the ability to travel or the luxuries that we may have in this country or other countries. They were grateful to have an ice cream break. An ice cream break. Where they come from, they probably don't have ice cream where they come from like that, nonetheless, even a break. So we have to take stock of what we have. And this is a place, too, where we have so much food that's thrown away. And the reason why we have to throw away so much food, one, because it's greed and control. That's one part of it. At the same time, we have all these legal issues because we now have the problem where we may have people in places that have food, but we can't give it away because by certain laws and ordinances, they can't, because some people may actually get sick the day after, whatever, because some certain foods may turn or whatever. But it's the legal aspect that chokes everything. And the reason why the legal aspect chokes everything, because we have to make more laws for more lawless people. And the unfortunate part is people will have wordplay when it comes to court. So when certain things come into play with law, you can't say or do certain things. So now we are constricted and restricted of what we can do and can say, even though we should have the freedom to do certain things. Anyways, that's all I got for the day. I want you to think about it. Think about every time you drive past an open fire hydrant or a fountain, or even seeing food that people are throwing away that is still technically good. Think about how good we have it. We got a lot of problems here, but that's a lot of self-made problems, self-inflicted wounds that we do to ourselves. You can always check my content at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can also check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe at Brooklyn Baritone. I'm also on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. I can be found on Instagram and Facebook. You can also catch my podcast on the Google Play Store and the Apple iTunes Play Store. Take care, you guys. Think of what you have. Be more grateful than we are, because it's not as bad as we actually make it out to be. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm out. Be good. I'm enjoy this day. Be blessed. You'll hear from me next week.